Hey guys, Matt Dog here with another video. I qualified to get to the next stage of the Duelist Cup, so the regional qualifier. I want to show off some of the duels that I had in the process of getting there. Then I'll go over the deck profile. It's probably going to be different than the profile that I'm actually going to use, just because I've been testing a different deck profile in ranked that I am also enjoying. But I thought this was kind of a fun way to shake things up. There's kind of a fun story behind it, which we'll get to when we get there. Another thing I want to mention, obviously, I don't have a ton of time to game right now. Basically, my job is pretty busy. However, the day this video releases, 4 hours later, so 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to try to do a live stream where I'll actually climb in the World Cup to try to like qualify. I doubt I'll have time to get all the way up there, but it'll be interesting. So stop by if you're interested. Okay, so here we have the Fire Kings. This is like, isn't this like a worse end board than what Snake Eyes usually has? Like Ambler Whale, Promethean Princess Engrave. Like, I think they have more follow up, but they don't have an IP Masquerena on the field or a Flamberge Dragon. They have a Max C, but like, that's really bad because I have Triple Tactics Thrust, so they're activating that. But it doesn't matter because we already have the card we would have searched with it anyways, which is Grass. Hasta la vista, baby. Before we banish their entire field face down, we're gonna get a draw too. I was experimenting with Pot of Desires just as a way to get a +2 all the time instead of my other card, which is Tantalizing Tune. But whatever. So yeah, we banished their entire field face down. I feel like I probably didn't need to summon Eldlich there, but whatever. We still have a Karma Cannon, a Solemn Strike, and we can copy like an Omni Negate or an Ice Dragon's Prison, something. All right, so they are comboing off though because they have a Snake Eyes Ash, they have a Diabell Star, and they get a draw one. They discard an Imperm. Okay, we don't care about this. We can get Eldritch out of the back row really easily. We're just gonna let them keep comboing off. Do you whatever you want? Okay, I could have Psalm struck there. Might have even been the ideal spot. But I'm just kind of trying to play it safe. Summon Lord, get a search off. We're going to get a Diabell Star. Okay, things are working pretty well right now. We have an excess of Scarlet Sanguines, but that's fine. Diabell Star. Hello, I'm back. Get a draw one just because. Yeah, I mean, they're toast, right? I remember in my previous video, I made a misplay where I could have killed my opponent like a turn earlier, but I would have had to sacrifice a couple of cards. So since I did that, I'm trying to be more conscientious to try to kill them as quickly as possible. There, I don't want them comboing off a bunch and gain a bunch of searchers, so I chose to Solemn Strike there. I make the super heavy dreadnought rail cannon Gustav Max or Gustav Lieb to be able to hit them a couple times. We summon Eldlich, kill them. Easy peasy. This is the kind of outstanding uh, commentary you can look forward to in the live stream later today. But yeah, I haven't seen a ton of Fire Kings. My guess is today I'm going to see a lot more of them as we try to climb the ladder to reach the Duelist Cup. Yeah, I was running the Psyframe package for a bit. I really like the package. I just kind of there are other cards that I also like, so I'm always going back and forth. No, not an Ash Blossom. So honestly, this is like a pretty bad board, right? Like we have a oh, okay. So against Labrynth, okay. We basically just have the Omni Negate and no other interruptions. Okay, so here they were gonna be able to non-targeting destroy a card. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to pop either of the face downs, but like it wouldn't matter if they get rid of Diabell Star, then I have to waste a resource. They get their engine going, so I'm just gonna say nope, negate, try again. And here's why I love Lord of Heavenly Prison with the Diabellstar package. Like they're gonna waste a rollback in order to like get someone on the field, but we use Lord of Heavenly Prison, who sets a rollback, and then Diabellstar grabs our own rollback to put in the grave. So now we can get a second Omni Negate if we want. They destroy a card, that's fine. It did its job already. We're going to negate that. And unlike an imperm, like this lasts forever. They need to like destroy their own lovely and get rid of it. They use an Ash Blossom on our Eldlixir, but unlike Lab, we're a little bit better about getting our engine going when we still have a trap in grave. Like we don't need something else to help us out. Get a draw one. We already have the King's Sarcophagus, so obviously we just discard it. And they will cost themselves half their life points in order to use rollback earlier. My plan was to use Imseti and Happy to make Dingirsu to get rid of the mystery back row. I was afraid it was a Karma Cannon because that's kind of the only way they would have survived, but whatever. We still have a lot of board presence, but now we truly have no interruptions, but they have no gas. Okay, they get a search, they get a lady. They make Chaos Angel, but this feels like I mean, I guess it's kind of the only thing they can do. If they had one card to discard, they might be in a better spot. I don't know. They're in a rough spot. I summon Conquistador, so when it gets sent to grave, it can have its graveyard effect this turn. Probably make an IP, or SP rather. Yep. Banish. It was either that or the field spell. And then Blackluster Soldier. Yeah, I love this card. It's probably not optimal, but I just like being non-targeting, banish, untargetable and indestructible. I like towers in general. Okay, again, we don't have any interruptions, but we don't need them because we already use them. Yeah, this whole duel we've had very few interruptions, right? That Lord of Heavenly Prison with Diabellstar play was kind of essential for us doing what we want to do. Non-targeting banish the back row, and even if they okay, so they do still, so they just still survive. They were going to have 100 health points left, but they were done. G to the G. Yeah, this deck is so fun. Even when you're at like obviously every deck can brick, right? Even the most amazing Snake Eyes deck can have like 3 copies of Ash Blossom in hand, and whatever. And I think I do play against a Fire King player at some point who clearly bricked pretty badly. So even when we brick, we can still obviously win against a deck that, they had all their key starters. They had their engine pieces, they had a Karma Cannon, they had rollback, whatever. Okay, this is, ooh. Yeah. I do not like Shifter, so I like using my graveyard. Luckily, they already had a card in their graveyard, so they couldn't use Shifter, but they do have Fissure. Okay, and they have Returnia. What does that do? That's the banished one, right? Yeah, okay. So right now they have they can banish 3 cards we have among our field and grave. Some only field, some field or grave, some target and some not. But 3 banishes. Okay, that's solid. We need to find a way to deal with it. Also, any monster sent to the grave will get banished. Okay, so we're gonna force out one of the banishes. That's fine. He chooses not to use the other 2 banishes because they would be kind of random. Like if he hit Summon Limit and Paleozoic Marilla, that would probably feel really bad because then the next turn he's kind of doesn't have anything, and then we have ways to deal with this stuff. But he still makes a mistake. All right, goes to battle. So here, not only does he not choose to randomly banish a card before XYZ summoning, but like this XYZ summon doesn't work. So Ice Dragon's Prison doesn't target. So even though it's a different monster, like they were both warriors, so he just banishes card and he's toast. Yeah, that's what's really nice about Paleozoic Marilla. Like, most of the time you're using it to send a rollback or an elemental burst or something, but sometimes you just use it to send your Eldlich engine. 25, 25, goodbye. And we had a summon limit in Karma Cannon, so they weren't going to be able to do anything. Yeah, these duels were a lot of fun. Overall, my win rate in the uh, Duelist Cup was about 68.2%. So after I made it to like rank 18 or whatever, I got up to rank 19 and then I lost like 3 in a row or something to drop back down to 18. And then it was kind of win lose 50-50 for a while. But then I had like a 4 game win streak and then 50-50 while I was at 19 and then another 4 game win streak to go up to the top. So obviously we get rid of Imseti to get rid of rollback in Grave, which is kind of more important even than like the fact that he gives us a draw and grabs King Sark. Here I feel like I could have used Thrust, but the what I know is that Solemn Judgment says that when a spell or trap card is activated, you can negate and destroy it. And obviously, I know that Dinomorphia loves to run cards like Solemn Judgment, but notice how it says spell or trap card, not spell or trap effect. And as you know, if you've watched my channel for a while, rollback, copying, evenly match is not considered a trap card, it's a trap effect. So even if one of these was another Solemn Judgment, there's nothing they could do, they'd be gone. So now I get to save my triple tactics thrust for next turn, or rather, I get to use it on something like just like Eldlich Engine or a Karma Cannon, something. GG. Yeah, I think triple thrust is kind of a must. Like it's just so good. All right, what is this? Um, I think we just did that one. Yeah, we just did that one. Okay, next duel. Yeah, this Eldlich deck is able to deal with quite a bit. Like it's able to play through a lot of the meta boards going second. I think most of the duels that I have saved actually are going second games. Okay, so here's kind of the fun card that I don't know if it's going to be in like the version of my deck that I'm using to climb like seriously that I'll be using like on stream later today. However, okay. The reason I am using this is while I was climbing in the Duelist Cup, I had a game against someone who is actually a moderator on the Eldlich Discord channel. So, like, obviously, Decade has like the Master Duel Discord channel, and within it, there's all the hundreds of different decks. So, like, one of the mods played against me. I didn't realize it was them. Um, but then they ended up beating me. I made some misplays, and obviously my hand was kind of bricked up. But I'll talk about it more in a sec. But anyways, they recommended that I use this card. So now what we've got the Diabellstar package. We've got Cursed Eldland, so Eldlich can summon out soon. So we don't get a draw two, but we do get a couple of important cards in Grave, which is what they recommended. Basically, Magician Souls as another way to get your traps out of your hand, which is the problem that I had in the duel that they beat me in. So right now we're under max C. We're at this point I'm kind of committed to just like I need to kill them this turn. We knew that they had that trap because we saw when they searched it out. We negated this, which allows them to summon a monster. All right. We have both of our horse cards. Dark Charmer. Okay, what are we going to grab? The Omni-Negate monster. Don't mind if I do. All right, Celine. Okay, now what are we going to grab? At this point, I'm also kind of gambling that they don't have a Nibiru in hand or in their deck, honestly. Like, if they have a Nibiru in their deck, we're in trouble. That's negated, which is important because we need all their monsters off the field so we can kill them. And that does give them the ability to summon one more monster, but we can still beat over them. Woo! Yeah, baby! Maxi, not to me. So, yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I think that I don't prefer running Max C in these decks is like if you don't also have a way to punish your opponent like immediately for playing into your Max C, it's not super helpful. Like, yeah, they got to draw 15 cards, but I still killed them. It's really important to, if you're gonna go the hand trap route, to also have like some Nibiru's or I don't know, maybe a Droll and Lockbird to shut your opponent down at some point. Probably some effect veilers, which are really good if you already have monsters on your field and aren't once per turn. Some Imperm, Smash Blossoms, Ghost Spells, blah blah blah. And because individually those hand traps aren't really that strong in Eldlich, it doesn't make sense to run those. And if it doesn't make sense to run those, then I don't really like running Max C as well. You see what I'm saying? I mean, there is part of me that's tempted to run like Arius, the Labrynth monster, because then we'd be able to activate like a Karma Cannon or a Torrential on their turn. And if you're going to run Arius, then you could at least run like Nibiru and Max C, because those are like really high impact hand traps that can like end your opponent's turn right away, and they obviously they have synergy with each other. I don't know. It's like some food for thought. So here we're going into like a full pendulum deck. At least it's like pretty full. They're going like kind of the floodgate-ish route. So here's the spellcaster. It doesn't do anything on its own, but obviously they have the field spell, so no spells for me. Luckily we don't have grass or thrust or anything in our hand that would be a dead card right now. Um, they probably have the continuous trap that lets them destroy a card. And then they have IP, which can banish, and they have Baronne, which can negate. So we have two evenly matched. So I think you know what's going to happen here. We threaten to go to battle phase. They have to activate their main phase effects. They make SP, but there's nothing to banish. Well, I guess it makes sense because they can get their Baronne off the field. So they negate and destroy one evenly. They use a continuous trap because even though it means that they banish all their cards instead of saving one, the card they destroyed has a search effect. Diabellstar gets an Omni Negate, activate Lord, Elixir Engrave. That's probably just going to be fuel for the Diabellstar. And I think their Baronne has an Omni Negate active again. They didn't read Lord of Heavenly Prison, so I don't bother negating it. They can't destroy my face down cards. Here, Solemn Strike is great. It negate and destroys all the monsters they summoned. Because if you read the wording of it, when a card would be special summon, monsters would be special summoned, so we just destroy all of them. We try to Omni negate their Baronne because they're going to destroy a card. So now we have our follow up with Grass. Diabellstar searches more follow up. Nice. And we have even more follow-up. So we have a lot of gas right now, and they have one Omni Negate. Battle phase. Another reason Lord of Heavenly Prison is great. You summon it to the field, you search out a card, and you can destroy one of their big monsters that's stopping you from making plays. Get a draw. I probably should have gotten the draw first so I could set the Omni Negate instead. Like this spell at this point is just kind of fuel for an Eldlich Engrave. All right, what do we have? We have non-targeting destroy. Um, we have a couple of rollbacks. We have Karma Cannon. Okay, so Karma Cannon and Golden Lord. Okay, so we destroyed that card because it's like a continuous spell, so we like negate and destroys it. They try to destroy a couple of our cards. We Karma Cannon, which resets Conquistador. We have more Karma Cannons for follow-up. We banish a couple of elixirs, so we have non-targeting banish. I mean, we'll have to clear up our main zone. And now we have access to the Magician's Soul, which again is a way for us to get draws and to get troublesome cards off the field. Draw one. Okay, not bad. They're probably not going to activate any monster effects. Grab an IP. Sure, why not? Yep, you've seen this play before. I really like running Diabellstar with this deck because, ooh, okay, there's Nibiru. And Nibiru doesn't tribute their face down cards either. So yeah, I really like running Diabellstar with this Eldlich deck because we run a lot of Charmers that it's really easy to summon, and then you can just go up to access code super easily. Yeah, so they did have a Nibiru, which is kind of their only out. Whoops. But now they activated Thrust, and here I could have grabbed a spell card that I can activate from hand, but instead I choose a card to just like set Elemental Burst. Eldlich is going to grab it to summon himself. Elemental Transaction Rollback copies Elemental Burst, destroys everything, summons Eldlich. We summon a Paleozoic Marilla, we banish a random card. I could have just attacked for game, but I wanted to make Blackluster Soldier just because he's pretty cool. GG, sorry. Labrynth. Nice game. Yeah, I think obviously I have a tendency to save the games where we're going second because a lot of times I find it personally really exciting to go second and to break a board. It also gives me like a minute or two as they're setting up where I can talk about like other stuff. Uh, because that is kind of what I do when I'm going second is like after they've done all their stuff, then I'll like go and check what they have, but we don't have hand traps. Okay. They do have a grass, so or ash blossoms, that's too bad. I see. Yeah, so there we can use Magician's Souls to get our Elemental Burst in the grave. Yeah, this is a pretty good card. Uh, yeah, probably should rethink what my plan even now. I really like this combination. Okay, so oh, I remember this duel. Okay, this is a hero player. Um, and it's not necessarily that it's bricked up. It's that he knows that I can destroy his entire board at any time. So he's like afraid to commit resources to the board. Like he's like he doesn't want to banish malicious to summon a card. He doesn't want to make like a link 2, link 3, whatever. I negate and destroy that because it has this other effect that lets them get a polymerization. I don't want them to make Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer if they like have the materials in hand plus a poly, because then obviously my board wipe does nothing. So negate and destroy it, and now he's back to being afraid. So now that I have Lord of Heavenly Prison, I have everything I need to really pop off. I just need him to do something that lets me trigger a trap card. You might hear some sounds in the background. That's my little dog. She's stretching. Okay. Now we have a trap trick, which among the many reasons why trap trick is great, it can trigger Lord whenever you want. So here we grab just like some engine, that's fine. Summon Lord of Heavenly Prison, grab a grass. We're also holding on to a Psalm Strike, so if they have an Ash Blossom, this grass is still going to go through. Okay. They didn't even have an Ash Blossom. Yeah, it's like their hand is all gas or something. How do I not just win? Because this duel keeps going. Okay. Kill them for 2k. They set a card in the back row. Dreadnought. Here what I could do is make it go to 6k attack and just attack them, but I prefer this where I just make a second monster, and we also get more searches off. That's how they survive. Okay, so their back row was a droplet. Okay, we still do make a Zeus, and we also have non-targeting Banish from Grave, non-targeting Destroy on Field, Solemn Strike, Torrential Tribute, and obviously we still have the reason he hasn't committed anything to the board, which is Elemental Burst rollback. Okay, he's committing resources. He's got the card that you can summon from Grave. He sacrifices 3 cards to make um whatever this guy, and then we haven't used like hardly any resources. Like in this case, like the fear of Elemental Burst is like more meaningful than the thing itself. Okay, so that would have ended the battle phase or something. So we just Solemn Strike, negate it, and kill them. Easy money. Yeah, that's pretty good. What are we going to get against? 3-turn duel. Who could it be? No, they're going first game. Okay. Ooh. See, like it seems like I open with grass a lot, but you're noticing I'm not always opening with grass in hand. Sometimes I have to search it with thrust. Sometimes I have to search it. Like here, if I didn't have grass in hand, I'd still be able to grab it, right? They're activating a monster that's going to put a monster on the field. So I just chain just to get a search off. It's fine. Negate and destroy my Diabell Star, fine. I'm down an Omni Negate, but you're down this. You're also giving me a search. So here I just grab a rollback, which probably I should have waited until after I activated grass. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to bait out an Ash Blossom, basically. Okay, so we've got all of our horse monsters in grave. Get a draw one. Solemn Strike. Zombie Vampire. Just want to get a little bit of a more mill in. Uh-oh. Yeah, so apparently this is a tier deck, so that Zombie Vampire is kind of dangerous. Luckily, they didn't get anything that is able to search anything meaningful. So now what do we have? Obviously, we have a rollback in grave. So it was good that I grabbed that rollback because it looks like it's the only one that's in there. And really, it's just a rollback onto like a trap trick at this point. So not great mills, whatever. We're just gonna banish the field spell. I don't know. I'm more having SP as a way to like dodge cards or create like an interruption. But we have like it's pretty solid interruptions. Yeah, negate and destroy that. We don't need you activating you know, activating Horus. So they force out my they're trying to force out my rollback, but I just copied Paleozoic Marilla to send another rollback. Okay. Uh-oh. So they're actually starting to pop off here. We're actually in big trouble. We wasted our rollback or we used our rollback this turn. They make Cross Sheep. There they could have made Psychic and Punisher, I think, which would have been bad. They get a mill. Not very good mills. Where's their second? Okay. So here we are going to just destroy that Selene. So they go from having 4 link bodies potentially to just 1. They are going to get a fusion off, so they're going to be able to summon the whatever the big monster that. Okay, so they get the shuffle guy. That's annoying. Do we get yes? Okay, we have SP back, so we can make Blackluster Soldier perhaps. No, okay, like a light charmer. Okay, what are we gonna grab? Selene! Yay, my girl. We make our own Selene. Okay. Grab a Diabell Star. Yeah, that's another reason I like Selene is because when she grabs your Diabell Star gets a search. So there he would get the spell and put his fusion monster like in the back row. Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, so sometimes the way you play Eldlich is just like you're relying on your grind game, having like these really powerful blowout traps. But sometimes your extra deck matters a lot. That's one of the reasons why I'm not playing the Dogmatica package as much, especially because we have the Horus cards that allow us to make all those rank 8 monsters. Like, we actually use our extra deck, so it kind of like the cost of Dogmatica Punishment and Dear Servant isn't always worth the cost. Here I think I probably made a mistake. Like, okay, how should I have played this? Because I definitely didn't read that this is a monster effect. I haven't been going up against Fire Kings enough. This guy is definitely a Fire King deck that bricked up. I mentioned that before. I think they have like 3 copies of Ash Blossom in hand or something. Okay, how should I have played this? Is it negate and destroy? No, just negate. Okay. I think I should have just gotten rid of the evenly matched to get a draw 1. I mean, we don't really need this card either. I guess these cards are kind of useless. We are forcing it out. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Activate Lord of Heavenly Prison. Okay. So they don't have any trap negates. They'll destroy Magician's Souls. It's fine. On the end phase, we'll probably activate Trap Trick. Okay, we'll send a rollback to grave just to give us a lot of that flexibility. Lord, grab like a grass or something. Yep, grass, thank you very much. And a trap trick into... Oh, and that also allows us to summon Marilla. Thank you very much. Yeah, my guess is that this grass is not going to go through. Hmm. Okay, so we do summon an Eldlich. In a way, I'm kind of baiting out if they have like an Ash Blossom in hand. Activate it on their turn so that I have more flexibility to make extra deck plays, but whatever. So they still have the monster effect negate, but we don't really care if they negate this, so we'll try to bait it out. Oh, we bait out an effect failure. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there's no way they don't have a grass in hand. Try to bait out a grass. They're not biting. They do have a droll, but that doesn't matter to us. They don't have a ash. Okay, well, good for us. Conquistador, summon out the Eldlich. We're going to do a lot of damage here. I think we could roll back onto an Elixir and win, or we could just do this. Okay, they effect Veiler on him, but okay, so he doesn't get to attack a second time. Ooh, uh-oh, okay, we're actually okay, he does destroy the XYZ card. We can make nice. We make an SP Little Knight to banish that guy at least. And we're going to be able to set an Elixir, so we do have the non-targeting banish and non-targeting destroy, in addition to SP, obviously. Okay, pop off. We're just going to destroy that. It protects their field spell. It searches the field spell. Yeah, that's a pretty good choke point. GG. Take that, Fire Kings. Yeah, they say Fire Kings is okay with being destroyed, but not like that. We're gonna save that for the end after we do the deck profile real quick. So this was the deck profile that got me all the way up. Let's see. So obviously we're running the Diabell Star package, the Horus engine. Here I dropped the Duameth. It's kind of one of those optional cards I sometimes have in, sometimes have out. Here it's just trying to maximize like the consistency, I guess. I also only have one Trap Tantalizing Tune because I kind of got burned a little bit where I would activate it, get rid of a spell or trap card, and then my opponent would Ash Blossom it, and that would like feel bad. But that was probably an overreaction on my part. Like I tried using Pot of Desires, where you banish 10 cards from your deck. Uh, Whatever. So yep, we have that. Triple Thrust into Grass is always nice. Foolish Burial Goods is standard. Triple of these. I like having triple Cursed Eldland now because it has good synergy with the Horus engine. Called by is nice. There's a lot of graveyard monsters that we care about. We have the Diabell Star package, triple of these, along with the Omni Negate and the Spell. Obviously, we have Elemental Burst and triple Rollback. Like a big part of the reason this deck even exists is because Rollback is so awesome. Um, I have evenly matched up to 3. Sometimes it's at 2, but it's just like it's so good going second right now. I just like, and sometimes if you have 2 in your hand, like they might have 1 Baron de Fleur, but you still are able to defeat them. Only Floodgate that we have is Skill Drain, Conquistador, Huaqueros, Solemn Strike. Solemn Strike is fantastic. Negate and Destroy. You saw it got rid of all those Pendulum monsters. All right, now for the spicy stuff. This is kind of new. Um, Magician's Souls, along with an Illusion of Chaos and a Preparation of Rites. So what you could do if you want this deck to be, accessing this aspect even more, is you could have a second of these and probably a second one of these as a way to make it so that you're always having a way to be able to get rid of traps you don't care about. Probably get rid of one of these cards and maybe one of the evenly matches or something. Uh, I think that this worked out fine doing a couple of these along with 1 and 1. Basically, if you had this, then you would, this searches out this, and this searches out this, and then this can send either a Black Switch or an Imseti to grave, or maybe even an Illusion of Chaos to grave to special summon itself. Or we don't have any normal monsters, normal summons in this deck. So, like, if they activate a Max C, when you search it out, you can just normal summon it, and he can still get his discard in order to get a draw effect. It's also fine to have two, because sometimes you'll normal one, you'll special the other, you'll make like a relinquished anima, steal one of their monsters, make an SP Little Knight, banish one of their cards. So it can like even be a easy way to break boards, which I think is interesting. Um, I thought it was a cool package. We'll find out later today, I guess, if I want to keep it in the deck or not. When it comes to the extra deck, obviously we have the Selene access code package, which is really nice. Selene can grab out your Diabell Star, gets a search off. I really like Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Angel. Probably they're not necessary to have in the deck, but because we're running the Paleozoic Marillas, which are just great consistency cards that can get your rollbacks engraved, your Elemental Burst engraved, they can get your Eldlich Engine engraved. Like, it's really nice to have. I wouldn't cut it. But because it's there, that means we often have an Eldlich, one of the Golden Land monsters, and a Marilla all summoned to the field, which you can use either to make a Selene, which, like, gets your well, you wouldn't make the Selene right away. You would first make like one of the Charmers, either the Link Charmer or the Dark Charmer. Or maybe you have just a Diabell Star and Imseti on the field, but whatever. You have ways to access Selene into access code to destroy two of their cards using a Charmer or an SP as the dark and Selene as the light. Maybe an Heimdukka 2 as like a third pop from Wind. So you can do that, or you could just make Blackluster Soldier, destroy one of their cards, and non-targeting banish another card. It's a choice. Also, I like Chaos Angel. We make him using two level 5 light monsters, so he's unaffected by your opponent's monster effects, and he gets a banish off. I'm really not making him that much anymore, but I'm just on the copium. Like, I just think he's really cool. Anyways, the two level 10s that you use to one turn kill your opponent super quickly. We also have the Zombie Vampire, which allows you to get mills off, and Sky Prison. So when I'm going first, the level 8 XYZ monsters you usually make are either Zombie Vampire if I want more cards in my grave, which afterwards I'll like steal one of their monsters, which might have an effect that does something when it's sent to grave, and then I'll link them off into like an SP Little Knight to banish a card in their grave. So I'll still have an SP Little Knight as an interruption on their turn as well as a mill. Or if I already have all the resources I need, then I'll make the Sky Prison, which shuts down their graveyard. Like if they're a Horus deck, if they're a Snake Eyes deck, they're not going to be summoning from their graveyard on their turn. Both good options. And then going second, I'll usually make a Dingirsu, non-targeting, take out one of their cards, protect my hold field from being destroyed twice, which is actually great in this format. There's a ton of decks that destroy your entire field. Like, it's not just us copying Elemental Burst. There's also Salamangreat, which makes that really big Link monster. There's which deck is it? There's a couple other decks that have I think like a Pendulum deck that or like they make that like weird XYZ monster. There are a lot of decks that like destroying cards. Fire Kings destroys a bunch of cards with that like quick play spell. Whatever. So protecting your cards from being destroyed twice is solid protection. Another reason why we run Lord of Heavenly Prison. I cut this card down to 2 to make more room for this package, which is probably one reason why I really like the package. It's just you have to cut out too many other good cards. You know what I mean? Maybe I drop one of these to get a third Lord. I don't know. But Lord of Heavenly Prison is great. Protects your back row. It makes your deck super consistent, getting searches off. Whatever. It's pretty similar to some of the decks you've seen before, but I think the Diabell Star package in particular is pretty interesting. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you are looking forward to the live stream later today. Now, as a thanks for enjoying the video, I have this one duel that I saved that I wanted to show off that I had against a Fire King deck. Honestly, I had this duel a little bit ago. I can't remember what happens, but I think I remember it was pretty good. So we'll see. Yeah, going second is nice. You can just kind of chill out. Take a sip of water. Hmm. You can kind of get in the zone, meditate. Om. Summon 2 level 1 fires from the grave. What is that? Okay, hold on. I think it's just is link material. What? Okay, so this see, this is why I need to duel against Fire Kings more, right? Like I don't know what they're doing right now. Also, I want to say they had all of the starters that they need in order to make the standard Snake Eye board. So let's see if they're able to make something that's better than having Flamberge Dragon and IP and stuff. Okay, I mean, 3 material Appaloosa. I guess it's going to depend on what that back row is. I'm baiting out one of the Appaloosa negates, but probably didn't need to. I could have just summoned Diabell Star and destroyed it. Yeah, I think I cost. Well, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't have been able to activate. I don't know. I would have had to sacrifice a Solemn Strike, I guess. Okay, so that card's going to destroy, and that card we don't want to deal with. The reason I negate that with Solemn Strike instead of using Called by the Grave is because I want to use Called by the Grave on Promethean Princess. So there, they're trying to summon Promethean Princess using the Link 4, but we banish and destroy it, obviously. Diabell Star. So because she was destroyed in the battle step, we can't activate Paleozoic Marilla to do something. They destroy Diabell Star, but that's fine. We kind of bait out their... okay, yeah, I could see why I would want to save this game. So we're able to bait out this guy destroying one of our back row with Paleozoic Marilla, which just sends a card to grave. Obviously, they had an Ash Blossom, which means it sends nothing to grave. Okay, what do they have in grave? They have, really the main thing they have is this, which is going to allow them to get a Snake Eyes Ash and start their whole combo over again next turn. They have a Mysterious Back Row. This is protecting their field spell. Their field spells don't really do anything for them. Let's see. If it's destroyed while it has material, summon Fire King. You can summon 1 Fire King monster. Okay, so it doesn't really do anything. All right, so they don't, other than this upside down, other than this face down card, we don't know what they have. Okay. Hey, my dog's shaking. Okay. Set a card. Okay, we get rid of that. Yeah, what do they have? Is it a... Okay, nice. We got a draw. We summon an Eldlich. Okay. Nice. Okay. So even though it was an imperm, I see. So there I was going to try to go into like a Celine play. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So what I wanted to do was to make the Dark Charmer to steal a card from their grave and make Celine, who would then, you know, summon this out, make access code, starts destroying their back row, just it's a big tower, blah, blah, blah. But they activate Imperm to stop him from doing that. But because they activated Imperm, we can chain Paleozoic Marilla, and it doesn't require them to be effect monsters or anything. It just needs one of them to be a spellcaster. We summon Celine anyways. Thanks for the Imperm. We already used Diabell Star's effect this turn, so it's fine. Destroy 2. That protects their field spell, so we don't want them to do that. Yeah, their field spell does allow them to get like a search off, so... But they do still have that 1 spell card in their grave. I guess they didn't have enough resources to do anything. But I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. Like we both kind of rain each other out of gas, but Eldlich ends up coming up on top. We just have the better grind game. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to see more like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.